Good afternoon, friends. I hope your Tuesday is going great. I know you Michigan fans, your Tuesday is really going great. Probably didn't even go to work today. If you're a Washington fan like me, day's okay. Could have been better. We all know. Anyway, we're going to go over last night's game. We're going to go over the FCS championship game on Sunday. Got some basketball stuff. Got a few news items here. We'll go over those first. Before you start, hit that subscribe button down there, wherever it is, so you don't miss anything. Let's go ahead and get to the news. Michigan, national champions last night. Jim Harbaugh says, "We overcame off the field issues knowing we were innocent." And he also said something like, now that he won a championship, he can sit at the big boy table at Thanksgiving, which I thought was pretty amusing, pretty funny. Auburn, remember they fired their OC, Philip Montgomery, I think his name was? Well, they said, we don't need an OC. Hugh Freeze is going to call the plays, which he did at Liberty. I'm not sure if the entire term he was at Liberty he called plays, but he did call them for a few years there. Georgia Bulldogs. They're opening as the betting favorite to win the national championship next year. We'll see how that goes. And after 40 years in coaching, Alabama DC Kevin Steele is retiring. Illustrious career, been in a lot of places. Listen to these names he's worked under in those 40 years. Nick Saban, Bobby Bowden, Tom Osborne, Johnny Majors, and then also Dabo Swinney. So he's had a hell of a career. I don't know if he ever got offered a head coaching job anywhere. I don't remember if he ever did or not. But anyway, hey, enjoy your retirement. A lot of us wish we could retire 40 years from the coaching field, but we do what we do in life. So anyway, enjoy your retirement, Kevin. You deserved it. All right, so last night, I was hoping for a good competitive game. Remember the semifinals we had? Man, those are some great games. It had its chance to be there, but I'll go ahead and say Michigan defense just wasn't going to let it. Okay. Michigan beats Washington 34-13. Michigan finishes 15-0. Washington finishes 14-1. J.J. McCarthy for the Wolverines, 10 for 18, 140 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, ran for 31 yards. Blake Corum, man, 21 carries, 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Behind him, Edwards, 6 carries, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. Loveland, he has 64 receiving yards. And Turner, the kicker, responsible for 10 points. Washington's Penix Jr., 27 for 51, 255 passing yards, a lot lower than what we're used to seeing from him. Threw a touchdown, but also threw 2 interceptions. Johnson, leading rusher, 33 yards. Man, that's like rushing for a team that's only won 2 games. I mean, that's just crazy. Odunze, 87 receptions or 87 receiving yards. I'm sorry. McMillan, he had a TD catch. Defensive back from Michigan, Mike Sanristil. I think I said his name right. 8 tackles, 6 solo, and he picked off a pass or ran it back 81 yards. Almost made a touchdown, but he was tackled there at the end. Washington quarterback Dominic Hampton, 10 tackles, 10 solo. Washington's kicker Gross, 7 points. Some other stats from last night. Michigan, 16 first downs, 1 for 10 on third down, which I thought they made more than one. That may be wrong. I thought they made more than just 1 third down. 0 for 1 on fourth down, 443 total yards, 140 passing, 303 rushing, 5 penalties for 45 yards. A lot of people talking today on the radio and TV. That should be more than that. They got away with a lot of holds and stuff like that. Washington, 17 first downs, 2 for 14 on third down, 2 for 5 on fourth down. 301 total yards, 255 passing, only 46 rushing yards. 5 penalties for 30 yards. A lot of those were offensive false starts. Snap infractions, crap like that just kept pushing them back. Man, Michigan was strong out of the gate. They jumped out early. I was like, oh, man, this is going to be a slaughter, isn't it? But I don't know what the deal was. If Washington finally kicked in, or Michigan's defense kind of laid back a little bit, but they let Washington back in this game. I mean, it was a 7-point game at halftime. And it looked like Washington, you kept wondering, when is Washington going to get on with it? When are they going to get to do what they do it, throwing it downfield and all that? Michigan defense, they just weren't having it. Let's see. It looks like when Washington had opportunities to score, Michigan said, we had enough of this, let's stop them, and they would. They would just stop them totally. They stepped up, shut them down. Penix just didn't look like his comfortable self. It looked like he wasn't getting set. He was back on the back of his foot before he could get set. He was having to get rid of the ball. That defense was all over him. And I noticed also the offense, Washington offense, it's like they respected that Michigan defense so much. They knew what they could do. They were trying different things, bunch of screens and crap like that. So, we kept, like I said, we all kept sitting there waiting for the deep ball to Odunze or somebody else like Penix does. They never really did that much. I mean, they had some long passes, tried a couple bombs. I said Penix, he just didn't seem comfortable. He overthrew. Could have been some great long plays. Overthrew him. I just think the Michigan defense had him all messed up and confused. Second half, Michigan outscored Washington 17-3. But hey, hell of a season. Even though Washington lost, man, they're back there. They just got to get some players in to replace the ones leaving. Michigan, that's the talk today. What's going to happen next year? Are they going to be back in this thing? Are they going to be falling off? That's always the big question every year. What's that championship team going to do the next year? And what's Harbaugh going to do? Is he going to stay there? Is he going to go to the NFL? Who knows? But it's going to be very interesting. And one good thing about this is the last year of the 14 playoff. Thank God. I've said it before. I thought when they first started this thing, they would see how it runs, get a good feel for it, then eventually expand out. They just never did. It kind of got stale. I mean, we had some good games over the years with this 14 playoff, but it really kind of got stale. You're like, look at all these damn good teams from 5 to 10. They should be in there getting a chance, and they weren't. So I'm, for one, I'm glad the 14 playoff is gone, 12-team playoff. If it was me, people would call me crazy, stupid, whatever, I would have made it 16 because in college sports, you just never know when someone's going to jump up and bite the big boys in the ass. Who's to say a team sitting at 16 with 2 losses couldn't beat the undefeated number 1 team in the first round? I mean, it happens. I mean, it happens in all sports. The underdog not always, but underdog a lot beats the top dog. So, but hey, 12 is a hell of a lot better than 4 in my book. So, anyway, congratulations to Michigan, national champions, man. Y'all earned it. Y'all played great. Even when your coach wasn't on the sideline, y'all still played great. All right, so Sunday we had another one, the FCS championship game. Kind of a lopsided, one-sided game, however you want to say it. South Dakota State, 23-3. This game kind of mimicked the one last night, 7-3 at halftime. Gronowski, quarterback for South Dakota State, 175 passing yards, touchdown, threw an interception, ran for 53 yards and a touchdown. Now, if you've never seen that guy play, you got to see him play. He's just incredible. Davis, 87 rushing yards and a touchdown. Montana's McDowell, 165 passing yards, interception. Grizz only have 47 rushing yards, 212 receiving yards. See how they mimic? McDowell never really looked comfortable back there. South Dakota State defense was all over him. Low rushing yards, kind of mimicked last night. South Dakota State, Jordan Jonke. Yeah, TD catching that one. Defense created 3 turnovers. Montana, Ramos, the points, 30-yard field goal for him. Actually, both teams played pretty good on both sides of the ball in the first half, but second half came around. Jackrabbits just took control. Great dominating defense they played in that second half. Offense was explosive. It was a good game. It really was. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I just want to see a good game. And it was, even though Montana only scored 3, they still played a great game. They just, like Washington, couldn't capitalize when they had a chance. So South Dakota State Jackrabbits, back-to-back champions. Got me thinking, and they showed the graphic during the game. North Dakota State. Remember them? They were on top of the FCS world for years. They're in the playoffs this year, lost in the semifinals to South Dakota State. Right? Yeah, I think they lost to South Dakota State. Now they've kind of fallen down a little bit, and South Dakota State has kind of jumped on top. Are they going to take that place? Are they going to win it again next year? That remains to be seen. All right, so we did have some basketball last few days, even though all the talk was about football. Let's go back to Sunday. Number 15, Memphis beat SMU 62-59. SMU actually led this game by 12 at half and let it get away. Memphis' Jones, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Quinterly, 11 points. Memphis, 44% from the field, 53% from the free throw line. SMU Smith came off the bench, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Phillips and Wright, they had 9 points each. SMU shot 34% from the field, 57% from the free throw. Both teams turned the ball over 16 times. SMU had more rebounds and more points in the paint, but still lost. Only lost by 3, but still, with all that going for you, they may have won. 12-2, Dayton beat 10-4 UMass, 64-60. Holmes the second for Dayton, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Dayton was 38% from the field, 35% from three-point land, 86% from free throw line. Pretty good. They had 8 less fouls than UMass. 4-point game could have been the difference. Who knows? UMass's Cross, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 36% from the field, only 14% from three-point land. Ooh, 60% from free throws, too, so that wasn't all that good. They did score 11 points off turnovers, so that kind of helped them. 11-5, Youngstown State beat IUPUI 75-65. Youngstown State, 38% from the field. That's all they shot, and they still won. And when IUPUI actually led by 1 at halftime. 11-4, Quinnipiac beat Manhattan 76-59. Otino for Quinnipiac, 23 points, 9 rebounds. Lewis, 15 points, 5 rebounds. 10-5, UAB beat 8-5 USF, 75-71. UAB's, Lindenborg, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. 13-2, Indiana State beat Northern Iowa, 77-66. Indiana State. Indiana State's Kent, 24 points, 13 rebounds. Hell of a game for him. Bourne for Northern Iowa, though, had a hell of a game. 27 points in that one. 10-5, Belmont beat 12-3 Drake, 87-65. Belmont's Dia, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 5 for 8 from three-point land, 7 for 9 when he shot free throws. Let's see, 11-6, Cleveland State beat Northern Kentucky, 88-85 in overtime. Cleveland State's Arnura, I think say that. 24 points, 12 rebounds. Nice game for him. 4 others, double-digit points for Cleveland State. 12-3, Minnesota beat Maryland, 65-62. That ends a 10-game losing streak to Maryland. Finally broke that streak. Who else broke the streak? Was it Tennessee broke her losing streak to Ole Miss on Saturday? May have been. And then the last one, I watched Northwestern move to 11-3. They beat Michigan State 88-74. Michigan State is 9-6. Man, all those great teams they've had over the years, you figure they'd be a lot better than that. Monday, there were several games on Monday last night, but everybody's probably watching football. Bunch of 500 teams and teams barely over 500 played. The only one that stuck out is McNeese State down there in Lake Charles, Louisiana. They are now 13-2, beat Northwestern State 68-59. McNeese, 21 of those points off of turnovers. Tonight, got a lot of games, but some of the ones that stand out. 6 p.m., ESPN2, number 2, 14-0, University of Houston versus 11-3, Iowa State. 6 p.m., ESPN Plus, number 25, 11-3, Texas versus 12-2, Cincinnati. It's on ESPN Plus because at the same time, they want you to watch 8-6 Missouri take on 11-2 Kentucky on ESPN. I don't know. Some of these people need to get the priorities straight when they're putting games on. Here's another one. 8 p.m. on Peacock. You got Peacock? I don't even know if I have Peacock. I've seen it as a streaming service or something. Number 1 Purdue, who's 14-1 versus 12-3 Nebraska. You can't find a TV channel to put that on. 8 p.m. on ESPN. Number 11-3 Duke versus 10-5 Pittsburgh. That might not be too bad. 8 p.m. on ESPN Plus again. 12-2 BYU. Number 18, 12-2 BYU versus number 14, 12-2 Baylor. ESPN Plus. 8 p.m. ESPN2, 9-5 Texas A&M versus number 16, 12-2 Auburn. And this one here, 8 p.m., I couldn't find any TV, which is crazy. Number 17, Colorado State, 13-2 versus 10-4 Boise State. Good Mountain West matchup. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of these people on TV need to get their priorities straight because, unless the boss said, make money for us, put it on ESPN Plus or stream it so they have to pay for it. Yeah, whatever, man. I pay for enough stuff in my life. I'm not paying for any more streaming services. You ever notice companies like all these guys think every American makes $10,000 a week? I'm not just them. Car companies, people that make goods and services. I mean, they just think everybody makes $10,000 a week, don't they? Stupid. All right, so not gonna be doing a show, video, whatever this weekend. Had death in the family this morning. I wasn't even gonna do this show today, but get my mind off of things. There's really nothing I can do. Funeral's gonna be somewhere this weekend. Not sure where, so I'm not even gonna commit to a show. But when we come back next week, football's over. It's gonna be full dive into basketball. Because there's so many teams, what I do is I definitely do the top 25, and then I go through and see who's having a great season and go over those games. If there's a 4-10 team playing another 4-10 team, if it's your alma mater or you're a fan of them, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to mention it because there's so many teams. Unless something miraculous happens, like the guy scores 60 points in that game or something. But, we'll be diving full hit on into basketball. Man, things are really, really getting good in basketball. We had some good non-conference games last month. But, man, conference play, I live for conference play in college basketball. It is so good. It has started. We get this month, next month, a little bit of March before the conference tournaments start. And then next month, I believe. Into next month, baseball and softball get started, so we'll be getting into that too. So I hope the rest of your Tuesday is good. I hope the rest of your week's good. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Like I said, I'll be back next week sometime to go over all the stuff that's happened from tonight on to night before that next show. So y'all have a good day. We'll see you next time.